Hi everyone, it's Carmina. Welcome back. I guess some of you have been anxiously waiting for this video because, as you know, I promised that when I would reach a certain number of subscribers, I would do some free readings for you guys, and I've offered you guys two past life readings and two light on a star readings, which is to answer some questions that you have, and the answer has the validity of 1 year. These four are done by using cards. So I cast cards by using the cards of truth method that I've learned from Ernst Wilhelm. And another one would be for career indications, right? So let's see what we got. I'm just gonna look because I took some pictures of the card spreads. Okay, so the first question, I'm not really gonna name you guys because maybe you don't want to be, I don't know, put on the spot or pointed out or called out or something like that. So I'm just gonna read the question, and sometimes I'm gonna read the birth date because some of you have similar questions, so you'll know who it is, right? You'll know who I'm talking about. Okay, so let's get to it. The first readings that I've done were the past life readings because I told you I'm in the zone with the past life readings lately, so yeah, let's see. Okay, so somebody asked me, what is my past life relationship to astrology and shamanic practices, right? Okay, so I cast a past life spread to see that. And the first card that I got that shows the person's path was the Queen of Hearts. The second card I cast was a Six of Hearts, and that shows the person's inner core, right? Her inner self. So these two cards, one next to the other as representing the person and her path, shows me that she was in a past life like really preoccupied with having a family and a husband, so husband and children. She wanted to be a mother, she wanted to have all the love possible from her family, from a family with a husband and kids, right? So how is that related to the cards? I assume she went and she sought the help of an astrologer, of a shaman. So she was given some rituals to perform to get these things, right? And she got them. So she received that, right? She was fulfilled with that. But then there are other cards that show the highlights of her life, right? Okay, so the highlights of her life were the Five of Hearts and then a Four of Hearts. So the Five of Hearts is like an emotional crisis, right? When things aren't going right anymore in your relationship, in your marriage, with your kids, right? So, and then she went back to the Four of Hearts. The Four of Hearts is like being secure with your emotions, so feeling emotionally secure but not really overflowing. Like the Six of Hearts that she started with was like an emotional fulfillment, right? So she kind of lost some of that oomph in her you know, in her emotional life. So she wasn't really feeling quite fulfilled anymore with her marriage and her family. And then the next card shows the involution. So from the Six of Hearts, she went to the Nine of Diamonds, which is reversed, right? So from being an emotionally fulfilled person, she became kind of, I don't know, less charitable, right? Um, the Nine of Hearts, the Nine of Diamonds, when it's not reversed, it shows a charitable person, right? Somebody like that. But when it's reversed, it's like that's not quite happening. So I say either she became like less charitable, or she I don't know, she used her abundance, she used the money wrong. So she paid the shaman or the astrologer to do something to fix her life problems, her emotional crisis, right? And her evolution, which is like the progression of her path, which was the Queen of Hearts. So from a Queen of Hearts, now she becomes a reverse two of clubs. So she kind of had um, a bad idea, right? The two of clubs is like coming together with your idea, receiving some sort of education, but having a reverse two of clubs is like um, not getting the right education, not really coming together with your idea. So I think that's what happened. And the outcome of being a reverse ace of clubs shows that you're coming towards the occult, to astrology and shamanic practices with kind of a wrong idea, and you should like change your approach. So like you really should go back and within yourself and see like what they should be to you. They shouldn't be like a means to provide something, to provide emotional security, like worldly emotional security, like they did in the past life, right? So they should be something deeper than that. Yeah, you know, we say that in the cards of true system, when you get a reverse card, you should go to the card before. So the card before the Ace of Clubs is the King of Hearts, right? And the King of Hearts shows that you have to do more emotional sacrifices. So things won't go your way, like in this life, emotionally. And you have to own that, right? You have to be like the king who makes sacrifices for his kingdom. So if you approach shamanism, shamanic practices, or astrology, it shouldn't be from a point of view of getting you something like emotional comfort, like the way to get you a husband or how to get a family or things like that, right? You should look back on that. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Then we'll be going to the second question that is another woman, and she's asking, what is my past life relationship with my father? I have been constantly addressing his health issues and emergency issues since childhood. Still not married and no career. Every moment of life is for him. I love him a lot. What is the past life relation? Okay, so I cast the card spread asking, like, what is this woman's relationship to her father that is putting her in this constant situation of like sacrificing everything for him, right? Okay, so the first card I got, and which shows her path in the past life in regards to her husband, to her father, is the reverse two of spades, right? And that shows that she couldn't find a cure. I think she was ill herself, like she was suffering from some disease and she was ill. And the second card is a Six of Hearts. So who she was is like she was very invested in marriage. So I think her current father was used to be her husband, and he used to look after her when she was ill in the past life, right? Because I see this card, which is a Six of Hearts, which is an emotional fulfillment and can be marriage, because it's the most you can do in this world with love, which is like get married. It's like the worldly fulfillment of love. And I see it next to a reverse two of club, well, two of spades, and two of spades is finding a cure. But since it's reverse, like there was delay in finding this cure, like she had difficulties, right? And the next cards show the highlights of her life, and It's a three of clubs and an ace of clubs reversed. Okay, so the three of clubs shows that she was a more independent thinker, right? She had her own ideas. She wanted to pursue her own path and kind of, I don't know, fly away. She was kind of in disagreement with him a lot, right? And the ace of clubs reverse is like, again, it shows that intellectually she couldn't pursue her ideas, right? Unfortunately. And what happened next, like the evolution of her path, is a reverse eight of hearts. I think that shows that she kind of separated from him. She kind of separated from her husband, right? And the next card, which shows the her involution, so like she learned from this, um, what she remained from this experience is the reverse jack of clubs. So she wasn't able to pursue the projects. Like she had a lot of ideas and a lot of projects intellectually that she wanted to pursue, but she couldn't because this jack of clubs is reversed. So these are her frustrations, and the lesson to learn is the reverse jack of hearts. A jack of hearts normally shows that um, a change of attitude in love, right? The words love. And reverse is a delay in this change of attitude in love, right? So I think that in this life, I think she owes her father because he took care of her in the past life. I can definitely say that whether he was her husband or another family member, she was really emotionally invested in the relationship with him, and he took care of her. She wanted to pursue her own ideas. She wanted to be more independent and have her own projects, and she separated from him, and she couldn't even pursue her projects. So there's a lot of frustration from that past life. And yeah, yeah, so in this life, unfortunately, she kind of has to sacrifice herself, right? And she has to kind of take care of him. So yeah, this is it. Okay, so the next reading is a light on a star spread, and the person is asking me, I was wondering, should I go to university at all, and if so, would it be good to go this year or not? If not, what is more recommended? That's more than one question, right? For the spread. And it's without a birth time, so I just cast like a spread to see what the cards would say. Okay, so the question is symbolized by a reverse, a four of hearts. A four of hearts is being in balance, being emotionally secure with yourself. And since it's reverse, it's, yeah, this person, so this going to university has a lot to do with their emotional security and feeling emotionally secure, right? Emotionally secure. And then the present situation is a reverse six of hearts. So again, distress, a lot of distress, because the six of hearts would be emotional fulfillment, like love. And being reversed, they're not in a good situation, right? And the future card is another heart. So a lot of emotional distress because it's a reverse five of hearts. It's some emotional crisis that they won't be able to make sense of, right? Unfortunately. The should do card, the card that shows what they should do and they're not doing at the moment, is the two of clubs, and this two of clubs is upright, it's not reversed, so it's a good two of clubs. So this means that they should um, pursue their inspiration, like come together with their inspiration. So this can be an education card, the Two of Clubs. So if the university subject is something that they like and they run with, that if it's their inspiration, yes, go for it. If not, you have to come together either with a job or with I don't know, a subject, like with some education. You have to educate yourself or come together with a job that inspires you, right? So that's what you have to do, not something just for the sake of leaving home, not something just for money. Just pursue your, go to university if that's the subject you're interested in, and it helps you like develop your inspiration, like the clubs, right? um what goes against this person is a King of Diamonds. So this could be a person, this could be a generous person, right? So a generous person that is kind of going against their the outcome of the situation, and what's going for them is a reverse Ten of Clubs. So a reverse Ten of Clubs is that um that you haven't come full circle with your inspiration. Okay, so that kind of tells me um yeah, so the fact that you haven't come full circle with your inspiration, and the fact that this King of Diamonds, it could be like a family member, or I don't know, a King of Diamonds is someone more generous and charitable, but it can also be one of the family members. It can be your father, for instance. So that kind of goes against you. And what goes for you is that you haven't fulfilled your inspiration full cycle yet. So you have to go to the should do card, like I said, to the Two of Clubs, and come together with some education that you feel inspired towards, not something just for money or just to get away from a situation, right? Um, yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I have the feeling that the university that you would, because the outcome is a reverse Nine of Clubs. So, so um, the Nine of Clubs is like the hermit, the person who's intellectually withdrawn, and being reversed is not like you're not able to achieve that. Like, so I don't think you will be going to the university, because I don't think that's a subject that would make you fulfilled from your inspiration. But I think you'll come together with your inspirations by another means, so by educating yourself in another subject, or by like taking a job that is more inspiring to you, right? So that's what I think about your question. Okay, so let's see the next one. So I have a question: will I find love this year, right? So I cast a card spread, and the answer was that the outcome was that no, like from now and within a year you won't find something committed, a committed relationship. You will find a temporary relationship. It may be a guy who just doesn't stick around for a long time, right? But there is a silver lining, because I think you will change your income source. You'll be a better manager of your finances, and especially after June next year, you'll be very busy, like so busy, and you won't even think about relationships and love, because you'll be so busy, probably training to get some titles or a career promotion. So there is a silver lining. So yeah, the relationship that you may have, and it will be temporary because you left me your birth date, I could check. It can be either between December 27th and 18th of February, so meet somebody in during that time frame, or between the 11th of April and the 1st of June 2018, right? So then you will meet somebody, but it won't be serious. But you will be more focused on your career, on your job. You'll be focused on training for a promotion, right? That's what I see. Okay, this person born on January 2nd, 1970. asked me about their career, right? So, and I look at your birth chart, and you have the combinations to become a writer, an author, right? So you should consider start writing, like even a novel. Not you also have like the third cusp for more technical writing, but I think you should be like a writer of, if your birth time and your birth details that you gave me are correct, that you've given me are correct, you definitely should be an author. You should write a book in this lifetime, and you will. So I think it will be something more like a novel, but we'll see. Definitely, but consider being a writer, right? Okay. Okay, this person asked me, they said they have been jobless since 2015, and they asked if they could get a job next year or when they would get a job. So next year it will be a lot better for you than this year, right? Things will start looking up, and I see you'll start learning something that you will be doing long term. Like in February, you'll be starting educating yourself towards something, or yeah. And I see some money coming from mid-April to June, and the I think the most likely time for you to get a job is between 24th of July to 15th of September next year. You may work for a woman who is more bossy, more cruel, more like this, or you may work for yourself and have to be like really self-reliant and a good manager of yourself. And your work can be involved with some kind of advisor or some temple. Maybe you'll be doing some work for some temple or like a religious organization. Okay. Okay, there is this person who gave me her birth time, and she said that she's curious about her soul path. And okay, so there's someone who gave me their birth time, and they said their life is kind of a mess right now. The birth time is 24th of November. I won't say the year, but they know who they are. And here's what I can say. Okay, so I looked at your Rahu Ketu axis to see your path that you are on. You have Rahu in Cancer and Ketu in Capricorn. Let's see. Rahu is in the ninth Rashi, it's without any cusp, and Ketu as well, it's in the third Rashi with not any cusp. So what Rahu and Ketu are, Ketu is like our badge of honors, our comfort zone from past life, something we kind of excelled at, but we haven't perfected because we got to get reborn. So it's always something that it's an ability that we have, but we are kind of disappointed with, and we don't really acknowledge it because Ketu has its mist, right? Its veil of mist. And Rahu is something, the North Node is something that we have to strive towards during this lifetime in order to evolve and to balance also. This Rahu Ketu axis, it's always working together. So yeah, we need to find a balance between them, right? So um with Ketu in Capricorn, you have like a past lives where you have been very much in control, right? You've been in control of things. You've been like an authority figure, right? And you haven't really shown emotions. You've been more like, like you told people like they didn't see your vulnerabilities, right? You were just like always in charge, always in control more. And because it's with the third Rashi, it shows that you were finding security through using your rational mind, right? You were using experimentation, study, um, and but but when you got some new information, something that contradicted your paradigm of knowledge, you became like very insecure, right? So these doubts of the things that you were secure of knowing, they created some sort of identity crisis, right? you know so yeah, that's kind of when you realize the more you know, the less you know, right? The Socrates, he used to say, I don't know anything, right? So people who know a lot of things eventually get to an existential crisis and they realize they don't know anything. And right now with Rahu in this ninth Rashi, it shows that you have to kind of define a belief system. And also, more importantly than that, you have to let your emotions flow, because you have Rahu in Cancer. And Cancer is all about being emotional, right? So the more you control your emotions, the more you say you're fine, the more the environment around you will collapse. So when you feel something, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, when you feel sad, don't say, oh, I'm fine, or get angry or something. Just be sad. Allow yourself to be sad. Allow yourself to process that feeling, right? So, yeah, with Ketu in Capricorn, you have the tendency to say, yeah, I'm fine, but no, when inside you're dying. So, no, allow yourself to be sad, process that sadness, get over it, and move on, right? That's what you have to do. You have to allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel the sadness and the feelings that you are possessed with, because the more you controlled you will be, the more the environment around you will be chaotic, right? The more you will allow yourself to manifest your feelings, your emotions, the more the environment will also change, right? Let's see what else. Yeah, so because you have Ketu in that third, you kind of doubt your own information, and you kind of doubt the other people's information. You kind of doubt the information given by teachers, right? You kind of suffer from indecisiveness, um, because you know like the third cusp is kind of the detective that wants to have all the pieces of the puzzle, and you're kind of always waiting for that last pieces of the puzzle, right? But what you need to do is to have more faith, right? Because that's the ninth cusp, to have more faith in the bigger purpose of life, right? And yeah, just have some broader faith in a defined belief system, right? So yeah, in the past you used to make things happen with the force of your will and the force of keeping cool, but now you have some doubts about how to focus your will, right? And you have some, I don't know, you have to focus your energy towards something of purpose. Yeah, you need a sense of purpose, right? Because without having that belief, that faith, that is the ninth house, you won't be able to use your skills. So that is my advice to you. So find something to believe in and have faith. Try to have more faith instead of trying to rationalize everything. That is my advice to you. Okay, so the next question is from somebody born on June 2nd. And she says she currently has two jobs, working 60 hours a week, and she doesn't have time for her family. And both the jobs involve physical work. Um, and she was thinking to settle down with only one job in the future. Okay, let's see. Okay, so first, when I opened your chart, your Rahu Ketu axis also like drew my attention. You have moon with K2 in the fourth, right? So you're coming from a past life background of really being really involved with staying at home and taking care from your family and being like very emotionally controlled because K2 is there with the moon. So I think you're pretty easy to get along with, and I think you don't really complain to them all that much, right? So you're like, yeah, you come from a past life background where you're really kind of doing everything for your family and staying at home. And right now Rahu is taking you away from home because that's the 10th house is the house which doesn't stay home too often, and that's kind of a lesson that you need to learn in this life, right? To spend less time with your family and spend more time with your career. And you have also two planets there. Venus is very well dignified, it's in Taurus, so Rahu's lord is very well dignified and pushing you towards that 10th cusp of career. Let's see. Yeah, in the Navamsha, your soul planet is in Pisces, so you're geared towards liberation, right? Unfortunately, you have Saturn there, and while Saturn helps you have a life of accomplished deeds, is also malefic, so you will have to work harder. So unfortunately, you really have to work hard in this life. Uh, yeah, your career indications show that you can work for the government, right? Because Venus is like one of the things that Venus is a servant to the king. So it's like working in a government job, right? But it's well dignified, so it shouldn't be so stressing to you. I wonder what the second job is. I wonder if that's also related to Venus. Let's see. Yeah, so I wish I knew what the second job was that you need to choose from. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not unfortunately because you know, everything is kind of relative. Like we get into the situations that we need for our self-development. So you kind of need to make peace with the fact that in this life you will spend less time with your family and more involved with your career, right? You have this great exalted Jupiter in Cancer that's manifesting your 10th house. So, and it's also manifesting your 4th house. Definitely, like you need to focus on your career to the detriment of your family. That is your path in this life. You can also be an author as well because you have Moon with Mercury in the Navamsha, right? And that's a writing combination. Let's see what else. There's some rough times. You'll be having some rough times from now and until your birthday. It will get a bit better between the 19th of February and 12th of April, but it will generally be pretty rough. Like this year, it was very active, for you. And I think you'll be making that choice of where to work from, either from the 19th of February 2018 until 12th of April, or between the 12th of April and 1st of June, which will be your birthday. I think it will start there, like in February, March, and then in from April to June, you'll actually start working in service somewhere else. It will be a change of job, but I think you'll make sense of it, right? I think that's what's gonna happen. But I'm happy to tell you that after your birthday next year, like you will feel more loved by you'll feel more loved by your family and those around you, right? And you'll feel more appreciated as a mother, especially December 2018. So yeah, even next year, like you'll have to work hard, but you'll feel more appreciated. And next year, okay, so definitely in 2019, from February to April, you'll be starting a new job. Definitely. Then, and even if you started one, like as I told you in the last months of 2018, this one will be like long term. It will be something more long term from, so in 2019 you'll be doing something more long term. Okay, so there was one more thing. Okay, so February 23rd asks me, uh, yes, he says that people, okay, that he always told people that he wants to be the dictator of the universe, or something along those lines, and he's curious like what his past life karma is with such a thing. And I pulled out his birth chart, and I'm wondering, how did you give me your birth time to the second? Did you have it rectified by any chance by somebody? Because I never get birth times to the second, but maybe this will be fun. Okay, so I see right off the bat you have Ketu, the south node with the sun, right? So definitely you had a past life where you had the leadership position, and more so in Pisces, right? Pisces relate to spirituality, something like that. So you were some high spiritual leader. You had some high ranking and a position of authority in some sort of temple, some sort of spiritual organization, and unfortunately, like you didn't accomplish that to the perfect level that you had wanted to, right? That's why you got to have another try at life on earth. So you have Ketu with the sun and Rahu with the moon in Virgo. Okay, while Rahu with the moon can make one emotionally immature, like Ernst was saying in his video, um, this combination attunes people more to the energy of Rahu. So although you may do some dumb things in your life, they will serve you um, towards fulfilling your life path, right? And like in this life, in your past lives, you were like in the spiritual context, you were more in an ashram or in a temple, and like living from donations. And this in this life you have to give back, so you have to have a job and pay taxes and like fit into society in the workforce. Like let that be as a karma duty. Behave like a karma yogi, right? Okay, so yeah, moon's dignity is okay. It's in Virgo. It's Uttara Farguni, as I see with Dyanamsha I use. So let's see, moon. Yeah, moon is a neutral dignity because of the way Mercury is placed, but still, like, it's a good moon. It's a decent moon. I don't think you'll have too much trouble. But you'll be starting your Rahu Dasha soon, so it will take you places. Yeah, but you have to, yeah, work for other people in this life. You have to be in service and treat that working for other people as doing your karma, right? Like working your karmas. Yeah, because Virgo is even more related to service, being in service. And it's also in the sixth Rashi. Let's see, your soul planet is Venus, in Aquarius, Mercury and Jupiter. Let's see. Yeah, I see the connection to pharmaceuticals because Rahu aspects the sun, and that's a combination for doctors or people who work with the pharmaceutical industry, because Rahu is poison and Sun is essences, so it's like the essence of poison. So yeah, yeah, so that's what you have to do. Okay? Okay. Okay, guys, so I tried to answer as many of your questions as possible. I think you realized I answered more than five. But yeah, I really wanted to thank you guys for being supportive of me when, you know, my channel is growing. I'm still in the beginning, so I really appreciate you guys for like supporting me and watching my videos and giving feedback. So I wanted to give back to you guys. There were some questions that I wanted to answer, but like they were incomplete. There is this person who says like, should I start doing astrology, and they give me their birth details without the place. So guys, whenever you give the birth details to an astrologer, you have to give the precise date, time, and place, right? Because latitude and longitude change the position of the moon, the ascendant, and everything, right? So I mean, this person, I would advise everybody to study astrology, because there's something that anybody can find interesting, right? And not only interesting, but you see how the world connects, right? Not just like for predictive purposes, but to understand yourself better. For me, like, this was a chance to understand myself and the way I am better. So definitely, astrology is like self-work, right? Some people go to a therapist. I don't know. Some people study astrology, so I definitely recommend that. Either astrology or the cards, whatever you're most drawn to. And there's somebody else who also said, oh, Pammy, I asked you to, you were asking me something about moving, and I asked you to like send me some birth information to my Facebook page, right? I have a Facebook page, facebook.com/your stars aligned. So in order for me to see that, I mean, I could see if you would move, but to see the time when, I would have to look at the birth charts of all three people involved, and to see how the moving converges into them all of their timelines, right? Okay, so let's see, let me check your messages. Okay. Okay, there is this person who says, I'm on a career path that I don't really particularly like, but it helps me to support my family. And they say, I will PM you my birth data. I haven't received any birth data, Kevin. So thanks a lot, guys. I hope you got what you needed from my readings. Of course, this is like because I wanted to fit as many of you in as possible. I mean, this is like a shorter version of what I do during a consultation. So if you're ever inclined to book a reading for whatever topic I offer on my website, uh, go ahead and book a reading with me, and I'll be happy to further answer your queries, okay? Okay, so yeah, later this week I'll be making another video about should it be about Mercury retrograde? It's kind of cliche, right? I think I wrote an article about it on my blog at some point. But yeah, I'll see. It will be something. It will be something, okay? So thanks again for watching. I hope you got what you needed from this video, and I'll see you later. Bye!